Hello students, in this video we learn how to pass list, tuple, string and dictionary to a function and what happens to them. For passing the list to the function, we have used this function of 3-line code. It has given a parameter lst. At line number 1, id of lst is printed, and at line number 2, lst is added with another list value 10, and in the line number 3, after updation of lst, the id of lst is printed. At line number 2, it is clear that lst must be a list, otherwise this addition will not be possible. A list can be added with only a list. So to use this function, you can pass a list from the console when calling the function, or from the any program when calling the function. So here a list have been created, l equal to 234, id of this list determined, and then at the next line, update list function again called with this list object, and it is passed to the function. All 3 lines are executed one by one. First the id of this list is printed, and then the list is updated by adding value 10 in it, and then again the id of the list is printed. You can see in all these cases the id remains same. That means that the changes that is being made in the same object. And out of this function, when you write l, you can see the list that is updated 2 3 4 and 10, and id is same. That means the change that were made is in the same object. So this way a list can be passed and its values can be used inside the function. Passing tuple to a function. A tuple is an immutable object and it can be passed as pass by value. That means you cannot pass it by reference and change it in it there. You can pass an object as a value, and all the changes made inside the function will not be visible outside until unless you write print statement or return statement, though it will not change the original object that was passed. So this function def pass tuple in bracket tup is an argument that is to be passed to it. Here this is referred as formal argument, and in the calling function the argument is referred as actual argument. Naming is different actually. So the first line of this function is first comma second equals to tup. That means if the tuple have 2 values, the first value will be assigned to first variable and second value will be assigned to second variable, second value of tuple in this variable. Then the next line is if first is greater than second, it will return first, and next line is else it will return second. So when you run this function pass t, it returns a value 3. You can take the returned value in another object. For example, you can write a equals to pass tup in bracket t, so the value that 3 was returned to this function will be assigned to a. Here before calling this function you have to create a tuple t equals to 2 comma 3 inside bracket, and then this line pass tup inside bracket t, you pass it to the function. This function will process this tuple, assign its value 2 to first, 3 to second, then it will compare in the next line if 2 is greater than 3, no, from the second line it will return the second value, that is 3. So here you get the answer 3. Passing string to a function. String is another immutable object and you cannot change it. If anyhow you change, the change is not done in the original string, but a new string object is created. That means the string object will get another ID. A string can be passed in a function as an argument, but it is passed by value. Here a 4-line code have been used. This code, so 3-line code actually. The function name is pass str, inside bracket str1 is an formal parameter or the formal argument. str1 equals to hello plus str1. Whatever string you pass to this function will be given to str1, and when you write str1 equal to hello plus str1, that string will be added to hello, and in the second line id of string is being printed, in third line string is being printed. Here you get the output. str1 equals to, when you write str equal to hell in console, an object hell is created inside memory, it is given a name str. When you write id of str, you get the id of that string object hell. Then in the next line the string function pass str have been called, and it has been passed the str object. It invokes this function and its first line is executed. Here str1 is given the value of str. In the first line str1, the value that is being passed from the console is updated and added with another string hello in starting. So this, now we have a new string hello plus hell that was passed from the console. It creates a new string object into the memory hello hell. In the next line, when you write id of str1, you can see the id of this string is different the id of hell. That means when you add another string to this string, a new object is created. That means in other words that original string object does not change. After the third line, the string hello hell is printed, and this function completes. After completion of this function, a string is printed, str is printed, it returns hell. It shows that inside the function the string was being added to another string, but outside this function the addition is not available, and id of a string gives the original object's id. So all the changes that you were trying to make is not visible here. Passing dictionary to a function. Dictionary can be passed in a function as argument, but it is used as a pass by reference because a string is a mutable object. And again here we have 3 lines of codes. First line updates the string with a new key value pair 2 colon Lakshman. The second line prints the id of the dictionary, and third line prints dictionary. So on the console, when you type dict equals to 1 colon Ram, 2 3 colon Bharat, 4 colon Sadhru, it creates a dictionary of number and strings as key value pairs. And next line, id of dictionary gives the id of dictionary object. In the next line, the dictionary, this function pass dict have been called with this dictionary object. When it is called, dict1 gets the value of dict, all the values it actually gets here the reference. So all the updation that you will make here will be visible outside this function too, because the reference in this case, the dict1 have been a dictionary have been passed. So the from the first line, the whole dictionary is added with 2 colon Lakshman. In the next line, id of dictionary is printed. You can see the id of this dictionary after updation of the dictionary and before calling this function is same. Third line prints the dictionary, and after third line this dictionary function completes. We again go to the console and write dict. It gives us an updated dictionary. That means the updation that took place inside the function is not visible outside this function, but typing id of dictionary gives the same old dictionary. So dictionary is id same as it was before. So all the updation that took place inside function is visible outside this function for dictionary. Thank you.